This is another takeover video. This is a video that's posted on Your Skills Academy, this entire video, this whole thing, but I'm sharing it with you here on social media because I believe it's something that will help you all as well. And I also hope to encourage some of you to go to Your Skills Academy, a free academy I created to kind of learn. And not only learn, but to improve yourself so you can improve everything else. This is build versus sculpt. Now, this is something that I think a lot of people, you don't get the difference. There's a huge difference between building something and sculpting something. Most of you here are trying to build your life. You're trying to build things together to make it work. So you have something, by the way, I really like these Quest bars. Quest, if you'd like to sponsor me, I'm down for it. People are trying to build, which means they're trying to build something, but they don't know what they're building. So it's kind of like, well, put this here, this little deodorant here, this kombucha here, and then they look at it and say, I don't like this. So then they tear it down or they build something to it or add to it. And I want to encourage you to think of something else with your life. What if instead of building your life, you sculpted it? You sculpted your life. Now, I know a lot of you don't speak English as a first language here, so I'm going to explain. Building is putting something here. Building, you have nothing, you put it all together and you build it. Sculpting is what they do with clay. So if you go to Rome, Italy, I saw a lot of this in Athens, Greece, they sculpted statues, which means that they had it, the clay. They saw the image they wanted and they brought the image out. And actually one of the things that they say, if you ask one of the great sculptors, is like, how'd you sculpt it? How'd you know? And one of the sculptors responded, well, I mean, it was always there. It was just in the clay. I had to bring it out. Because the difference is it's there. You are the clay. And it's about you. What if you started to see exactly how you want your life and you started sculpting it? And remember, sculpting is taking away. When they sculpt, they're rarely adding something. One of the things that I love doing, coaching my clients, is I love being able to get them to see that they've had it in them the whole time. It brings tears to my eyes. It brings tears to a lot of them when they realize, like, oh my goodness, I've had everything I've needed the whole time right in front of me. And the question I love to ask them when they have these breakthroughs, multiple breakthroughs like this happen in multiple sessions, is I used to ask them, like, well, who was the one stopping you from having all this and seeing all this? And most of the time they all look down and they're just like, it was me. It was me. And it is you. You must see what you want before you create it. Because when you're sculpting, that's what you have to do. If I gave you clay, you're forced to see it. You're forced to see it before you create it. If I give you these two bars, you can just put it together and maybe see, no, that doesn't work. I don't know what I'm building. And most people just go through their entire life, creative part of their life trying to build something that they don't know what it is. When you sculpt it, you have to see what it is. And I want all of you to start sculpting your life. I take that responsibility to let you all know. It's what this whole Your Skills Academy is created for. Because you can sculpt your life. What do you want it to have? What do you really want to do? At the end of the day, I know all of you want two things. Every single one of you here, I can tell you exactly what you want. Now, the definitions of these two things will be different, but it's something that you all want. It's what I want as well. Peace and freedom. Peace and freedom. That's what I help my clients do. And by the way, if you're interested, as a bonus, I'll give 2 clarity calls away. It's linked in the description below if you want to sign up for one. Those are free 15-minute coaching sessions that I do with people. And if everything goes according to plan, we can continue that relationship that we have. But you need to understand, like, you're trying to sculpt something. What does that look like? What does freedom look like for you? Because most of you are chasing freedom, but you don't know what that is. There's times when I have to rechange what freedom is for me. Before, freedom for me meant I could do what I want, be where I want, and just do that. That's freedom. Being out on the road, traveling all the time. I'm traveling right now in the hotel. But now once you do that, once you have that life, what does freedom look like for you then? So I found myself asking myself the same questions. So freedom for me looks much different now. But the thing is also, what does peace look like for you? Does peace mean you're away from everyone? Does peace mean you're around a lot of people? What does peace look like? What has to happen for you to have peace? Because I guarantee you, a lot of you watching this, you don't know what has to happen for you to have peace. And if you do, you probably only know one or two ways. And you forget that there's multiple ways to have peace. And I see people who aren't at peace. And it's not the most fun sight to see, by the way. And because that's what everyone wants, whether they admit it or not. So my question would be is like, what kind of life are you sculpting for yourself right now? Or are you just chipping away at clay with no idea of what it is that you want, what you're building, where you're going, what you want to do when you get there? Because it's very just simple questions. Very simple. But if you can't see what you want through the clay, then what are you doing chipping at the clay? Just hoping that something will pop up? And then who do you become when something pops up and it's not what you want? To sculpt something, you have to see it. It's already there. The life that you want is already there. It's already there. I promise you. You might not realize it. I did a call with someone. I did a one-off coaching call with someone. We negotiated a good deal. And they told me in the deal, they said, I just want to be free. And I said, okay, what's freedom look like for you? And they're like, I just want to be traveling and I don't want to have a home. I just want to go around and be able to go wherever I want to. And I said, can you do that now? And she's like, no, I can't because I have a job. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. But what you said you want, you could just do it right now. You could leave your job tomorrow. No, I can't. Why can't you? She said, because I need more money to do it. I was like, so do you need more money? Is that what the real thing is? Because a minute ago, you told me you just want to be traveling the world. And as I tell a lot of people, I tell you this here watching this, most of you have enough money that you can leave your job today and travel the world. You might not be able to do it for a long time, but you could do it. So understand that you can do it. That's not what the thing is you want. So then I started talking to the lady, what do you actually want? And I ask you, here, what do you actually want? You can go to Bali and live for $600. I met people who did that. You can live on $600 for a month. Have your own private place, get a massage every day, go out to eat every day, you can do that. So what is it really about? Because in my experience, people don't know what they want. So what do you really want? I don't want to put any seeds in your head or anything. I want you to come up with this for yourself. What do you actually want? What does that look like? What has to happen for you to feel that way? What has to happen for you to start to see? How do you know when you've created the life you want? How will you know? How will you know when you have the freedom? How will you know? So many people, we don't know. We don't know what it is that gives us the freedom. We don't know what it is that makes us feel the most happy, makes us feel the most joy. And that's a big part of the problem. It's not that you can't have peace and you don't have peace. The problem is you don't know what it is that makes you feel at peace. Or you know what it is that makes you feel at peace, but you're not doing it. Either way, it takes away the peace. And as I always said, I don't even think, in my experience with working with clients, having probably thousands of sessions by now with people from all over the world, it's not even that they don't know that they're having peace or they're not knowing. It's not even that they don't know what they want. They're just so focused on what they don't want. So many people are focused, I don't want to be here. I don't want this job. I don't want to live in this country. Well, what do you want? What would make you happy? Let's start there. Because what happens, and I realize, and I see this, you guys who book these $111 calls with me, I've brought it up to almost all of you. You're saying what you don't want, what you don't want, but you're not seeing what you do want. And because you're not seeing what you do want, all you're focusing on the negative. And your brain doesn't understand negatives. I'll give you an example. Don't think of a dog. Don't think of a blue dog. Don't think of a green dog. Don't think of a giraffe. Don't think of a table. Don't look at this crystal right here. Don't look at it. But that's what people do all the time. I don't want to be here. I don't want this job. I don't want these friends. What do you want? So start there, because you're sculpting, not building. Now, once again, this is a video from Your Skills Academy, so feel free to check it out. If you're watching this in Your Skills Academy, thank you for allowing me to share this with social media, because I think some people need to hear that and join us here so we can have more people. And on that note, sculpt the life you want. But to sculpt the life you want, you must first see the life you want, not the life you don't want. Looking at a sculpture saying, I don't want to paint a person, I don't want to sculpt a person, doesn't help with the sculpture. Take care of yourself. And if this is on YouTube, work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile.